the koobideh was delicious. There was definitely flavor in the koobideh. This is probably one of the best ones in London. به سلام همه، چطورین؟ خوب هستین؟ دوباره همدیگه رو میبینیم. It's good to see everyone again. Today I'm in Camden in London. Camden Town is a very popular area of London where it's not so commercial. There's a lot of sort of independent shops and nice sort of restaurants and stuff. Very sort of underground. So it's a nice place. You should definitely come and check it out. I'm going to be visiting a restaurant for dinner nearby here in Kilburn. I haven't decided which one yet, so I'm going to look on Google Maps and see which one is the better one to visit. There's 2 Iranian restaurants in the same sort of area in Kilburn, so بریم با هم دیگه ببینیم چیزی دیگه رستورانتش, and both of them actually got very very high reviews, I should say. I will go and see which one has space, see how it goes. So بیا با هم دیگه بریم ببینیم چه خبره. So here we are, relaxing the lovely Regent's Park, not far from Camden and not far from the restaurant in Kilburn. So we ended up going to Kish Restaurant. I want to start with the location. This restaurant is very close to 2 Kilburn subway stations, tube stations. The first one is Kilburn High Street. There's also another one there as well, I think called Kilburn. I think it's just called Kilburn. Kilburn is right on the edge of Westminster, the borough of Westminster. It's fairly central. It's not like central, but it's not too far out of the way as well in terms of in terms of its location in London. Just in the sort of sweet spot where anyone from the west or from the east or from the north, particularly from the north, it's very convenient. If you're in the west, it's also, I guess, okay, maybe a little bit more of a problem if you're coming from the south or from the east side of London. But in terms of Kilburn itself, there's not really much around that area other than sort of Camden a little bit sort of to the east, Primrose Hill, and then sort of here Regent's Park, which is the Queen's Park. So I'm going to go for half a star for the location. It's not completely out of the way like some of the other Iranian restaurants in London, like in West Ealing or in Wimbledon, but it's also not too difficult to get to. The service was a little bit hot and cold. All the staff there spoke Farsi, which is a great sort of thing. That's not usually the case in some Iranian restaurants. I guess in London it's a bit more common, so that was good. When they came to take my order, the staff were very friendly. They were very nice, very polite. They answered some questions I had about, if there's any starters coming complimentary or teas at the end, and how big is the portion sizes and whatnot. So they were very very nice. There was also some things that I wasn't too happy about in terms of the service. This restaurant has actually 2 or 3 restaurants. It's sort of 2 or 3 restaurants next to each other, and it's all called Kish. They're not sort of connected. They're sort of 2 or 3 buildings or shops next to each other. So the 2 sort of main ones are very popular and very busy, and it's got sort of an outdoor area. We asked to sort of sit in the main sort of part of the restaurant, which was also very busy as well. There were seats available. The waiter insisted that we go to the other sort of the 3rd restaurant on the at the end. So we sat down, and there was no service in that particular part either. There was no waiters coming or going. We then sort of got up and said, well, can we please sit in this part of the restaurant? And then she sort of took us back to the small restaurant that we didn't want to be in, and sort of made us sort of sit inside. Not in a very rude way, but I think we made it quite clear 3 or 4 times that we wanted to stay, the sort of the busier side. So whatever, okay. So that was quite annoying. They were polite, but not very 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 friendly. That was one other thing that sort of annoyed me. So sorry, 2 more things. At the beginning, I asked if the bread is complimentary. They said yes. It wasn't. It was on the bill. At the end, I asked for complimentary tea. I didn't want a pot. I just wanted like a little glass. They ended up bringing the whole shebang. They brought like a pod, lots of candy, lots of sweets, lots of sheeny, and they charged us for it as well. It wasn't a disaster, but there are things I think that can definitely be improved. So I'm gonna go for half a star. I think it's the service was okay. Next we talk about the portion. The koobideh was very long, I'll give it that. It was a very long koobideh. It was not a skinny koobideh either. It wasn't the biggest or fattest koobideh, long and good sort of size. The rice, in my opinion, was enough for maybe 1.5 koobidehs. I sort of had to finish the second koobideh with bread. I could tell immediately when it came that it was gonna maybe get me through just 1.5, maybe 1 koobideh. So the rice could have been a bit more. I mean, that was it really. For £15, that's all you get. You know, one tomato and a pepper, and that's it. Everything else, if you want in terms of bread, or if you want some starters, if you want something at the end in terms of tea, you've got to pay more. So if we're talking about the koobideh itself, just because the rice was not enough to finish both koobidehs, I think on average half a star for the portion size. I think that's fair. If they can give a little bit more rice, if they can complimentary give the bread as well, just in case the rice is not enough. Okay, next up is the price. Koobideh is £15. It's just, it's okay. It's sort of a little bit above the average of £11-12 that I usually pay in most restaurants, but it's not too far away. It's on the higher side, but it's still, you know, normal. If you want to add extra stuff like the bread, I think it was £2 for, you know, the sort of bread made in the restaurant. If you want to add some tea at the end, it was also costing a bit. If it's sort of below the £11-10 mark, then it's very good value. If it's sort of above £20, it's, I think, getting very expensive. But this one is sort of £15, so it's average. I'm gonna go with half a star for the price. I'm gonna finish off with the quality, and I think this was probably the top sort of point for me about the restaurant. The rice was very fluffy, very buttery, very soft. The koobideh was delicious, very oily, very, very soft, very tender, you know, not overdone, not underdone. The koobideh had really nice taste as well. Not the strongest taste that I've had compared to maybe some of the other London restaurants that I've rated quite highly, but there was definitely flavor in the koobideh, which, you know, usually I don't get. Usually they're quite bland in most restaurants, but this koobideh had flavor. With the starters I was quite full by the time I sort of got to the second koobideh, but I couldn't, I had to finish it because it tasted really delicious. If you're looking for a really, really nice sort of flavor and nice sort of nice koobideh, this is probably one of the best ones in London. Not that I want to make it part of the review, but the bread was really, really nice. If you order the bread, the Shirazi that we had, the Olivia that we had as starters was also really delicious. Even at the end, the tea was really nice, sort of tea with a lot of flavor. The biscuits, you know, the candy as well. Everything was on point in terms of the flavor and the quality. So I'm gonna go for a full star for Kish. We're going for 3 stars for Kish Restaurant in Kilburn in London. Some points hopefully that they can take away and improve on. That's just my experience. Maybe some others have got a different experience, better experience, worse experience. It would be great if you could share that in the comments, so that people can get a balanced view. Hopefully they can take this review and you know, improve the restaurant, so that the next customers can have even better experience, I hope. So thank you for joining me. I will continue to have more koobideh in London and in other parts of the world, so please check out the other reviews that I'll have, and have a great day. If you do get the chance, come here to Regent's Park in London. It's a really, really beautiful park as well, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Khuda Hafiz, take care, bye bye.